Have you felt it? That quiet hum of anxiety in the air, that feeling in your gut that the world is spinning just a little too fast, a little too unpredictably. It's 2025, and the script we were all handed for the future. It feels like it's been thrown out the window. We're living in an age of constant uncertainty, a storm of information, of change, of noise, and it's leaving us feeling powerless, adrift in a sea of chaos. But what if I told you there was a secret? An ancient key forged not in silicon and code, but in the fires of human experience over 2,000 years ago. A philosophy so powerful, so resilient, that it guided emperors and artists, slaves and senators through plagues, wars, and the collapse of empires. And right now, in the heart of our modern turmoil, it's being rediscovered. This isn't just a philosophy, it's a survival guide. It's called Stoicism. And it might just be the one thing that can help us find our footing in the storm of 2025. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share could change the way you see everything. To understand its power, we have to travel back in time. Imagine the bustling streets of ancient Athens. A wealthy merchant named Zeno is sailing home when a ferocious storm hits. In a matter of hours, his ship, his cargo, his entire fortune is swallowed by the sea. He arrives in Athens with nothing but the clothes on his back. He has lost everything. For most, this would be the end, a tragedy from which they would never recover. But for Zeno, this was a beginning. Instead of despairing, he walked into a bookstore, picked up a book about Socrates, and began a new journey, a journey of the mind. He realized the storm had taken his possessions, but it hadn't taken his character, his reason, or his will. Zeno went on to develop a school of thought on the Stoic, the painted porch of Athens, and from that porch, Stoicism was born. Why is this ancient story so critical for us right now? Because we are all in our own way facing storms. The constant flood of information, the political instability, the economic tremors. It's a tempest for the modern soul. Stoicism offers us an anchor. It's a timeless compass for navigating the most challenging of times. So what is the secret? It starts with one deceptively simple idea, an idea so potent it's like being handed a superpower. This is the dichotomy of control. It's the absolute cornerstone of Stoicism. The Stoics believed that the vast majority of our anxiety and suffering comes from a simple, tragic mistake, trying to control what we cannot. Think about it. You can't control the global economy. You can't control what other people think of you. You can't control the weather, a traffic jam, or a breaking news alert that sends your heart racing. And every ounce of energy you spend worrying about, raging against, or trying to manipulate these things, it's wasted. It's like screaming at the rain to stop. But what can you control? This is where the magic happens. You control your thoughts, your judgments, your reactions, the effort you put in, the kindness you show, your choice to act with courage and integrity no matter what is happening around you. This is your true power. The external world can be a raging inferno, but your inner world, that is your kingdom. You are its ruler. This isn't about being passive. It's about being strategic. It's about focusing your fire on the right targets, the ones you can actually hit. And what about all those things you can't control? The things that cause us so much fear? The Stoics had a word for this, amor fati, a love of fate. Not a passive resignation, but a radical acceptance. It's learning to embrace the things we cannot change, to see every obstacle not as a barrier, but as a part of the path. The Stoic doesn't pray for a lighter burden, they train for a stronger back. This sounds profound, maybe even a little abstract. But what does it actually look like in your life tomorrow morning when you wake up and the anxiety of 2025 hits you? This is where the ancient wisdom gets incredibly practical. Have you ever tried mindfulness or meditation? That practice of sitting with your thoughts, of observing them without judgment. That is pure Stoicism in action. It's training your mind to stay in the present moment, to focus on your breath, something you can control, when the world feels like it's spinning out. In fact, one of the most effective modern therapies for anxiety, cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, is built directly on Stoic principles. CBT is based on the idea that it's not events themselves that upset us, but our judgments about those events. Sound familiar? It's the dichotomy of control, repackaged for the 21st century. It's about challenging your automatic negative thoughts. When your mind spirals, asking yourself, is this actually true? Is this within my control? What is a more rational, a more virtuous way to respond to this? It's about developing a growth mindset. When you face a setback, you lose a job, a project fails, the untrained mind sees failure. The Stoic mind sees an opportunity. What can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? This event does not define me. My response to it does. This isn't about suppressing your emotions. That's a common myth. The Stoics felt grief, anger, and fear just like us. But they didn't let those emotions rule them. They acknowledged them, examined them with reason, and then chose how to act. You can start small. Tomorrow, when you feel that familiar spike of anxiety from a headline or an email, just pause, breathe, and ask yourself that simple, powerful question. Is this within my control? If the answer is no, practice letting it go. Acknowledge it and then consciously shift your focus to what you can control. Your next action, your next thought, your next breath. This practice, done daily, is like forging a shield. With every conscious choice, you are adding another layer of steel. With every moment of acceptance, you are tempering that steel in the fires of reality. Over time, you build what the Stoics called an inner citadel, a fortress within your own mind that no amount of external chaos can breach. Living in 2025 doesn't have to be a sentence of anxiety. The world will continue to be uncertain. That is a truth we must accept. But our inner peace, our resilience, our character, that is entirely up to us. The Stoics knew that we are not islands. They valued community and shared wisdom. This journey is not one we have to take alone. We are all navigating this uncertainty together. By embracing these ancient principles, we can do more than just survive the challenges of our time. We can learn to thrive within them. We can find a profound sense of peace and purpose, not in spite of the chaos, but because of it. We can become the calm in the storm. The story of Zeno began with a shipwreck, but it ended with a legacy that has lasted for millennia. What will your story be? How will you face the storms of our time? I want to know. Down in the comments, share one thing outside of your control that you've been worrying about, and one thing within your control that you can focus on instead. Let's build our inner citadels together. And if this message resonated with you, if you feel ready to forge your own resilience, then like this video, subscribe for more journeys into timeless wisdom, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, be well and be strong.